The next time someone tells you there's no Black history in San Antonio, just bring them to this historic site. But first, some quick historical context. In 2020, the San Antonio River Foundation was doing construction in this area right here. They were actually building an Alameda theater. But during construction, when one of the workers was excavating, they came across something. They didn't know what it was, but they stopped. They just stopped and called their supervisor. Turns out it was the cornerstone of the first St. James AME Church built here in San Antonio, or founded here in San Antonio by 300 formerly enslaved Black people. Nobody knew it was there. It was buried underneath a parking lot for 159 years. So naturally, when the community found out what they had discovered, they brought together local historians, community activists, scholars, museums, leaders at African-American museums to, one, figure out exactly, is this the cornerstone of the first St. James AME Church built in San Antonio? Yes, it is. And what can we find those 300 people that actually built that first church? And so they put out a national call for artists. Around 70 artists applied. The panel of community activists, historians, librarians, even members of the St. James AME Church today were all involved in selecting the artists who would construct what you see behind you to honor not only that church, but those 300 people. And so the structure is called Presence of the Past, and it's actually modeled after the church that was originally founded by those 300 people. The way that it's structured and built out, it's modeled after that church. So today, I'm going to take y'all around this historic site, show you some of the cool details about it, and remind you several times that you can actually come and visit this place and even see the names of those 300 formerly enslaved people on the altar that's inside this historic site now called Presence of the Past. So, without further ado, let's go check it out, y'all. First really important thing to know is that this site is structured just like the original church was. If you look at the front part of it is actually structured like the original church. The artist took that and used it as a model to build out the rest of this historic site. Now, let's go check out inside. So as you walk inside, you get a sense to see all of the different patterns of the walls. Those are quilting patterns. And in a moment, I'm going to show you all an area at this site where it explains what each quilting pattern means and how that connects to African American history. But y'all can see it's wide open. It's just like a church. You have your general area where folks can sit, have events. We had a ceremony out here, obviously, to honor this site. But you can have events, podcasts. Behind us is the pavilion that the artist also structured. Really cool thing. So they wanted a place where people can come and connect and use art and poetry as a means to share history and culture. So the pavilion is actually built like an entertainment space where artists and musicians can perform underneath, and the big grassy areas where folks can chill and relax and enjoy entertainment. The really cool thing about it is that Andrea Vocab Sanderson, the poet laureate of San Antonio, wrote a poem to honor this history and honor this church and honor those 300 people. That poem is etched inside the top of that pavilion. How cool is it to say that you have a poem literally etched in history, physically? Talked about the quilting patterns inside each of the walls. So you can see here what those quilting patterns mean as you walk around the historic structure. At the bear's claw, which enslaved people used to find game, trails, and mountains to find water, food, and landmarks, or the bow tie, which signaled dressing in clothing or disguises to avoid detection, or the crossroads, which directed individuals towards Cleveland, Ohio, a key route to Canada, or even the double welding ring, which symbolized a place such as a blacksmith shop where shackles could be removed. So let's go check out what those, how those show up in the actual structure. You can see how the patterns differ in each area of the structure. You can clearly see that's where the altar is. I'll show you that in a minute, but I wanted you all to see the different quilting patterns that the artist used throughout the structure. You can see them. I like this spot right here because you can see the crest of the St. James AME Church right there. Backup Presence of the Past, because remember, this is now called Presence of the Past. You can actually see the altar, which holds the names of all those 300 formerly enslaved black people who helped founded this church. It has been incredibly dope, man, to see people from all over the U.S. come and visit this place to see if their ancestors are on this altar, if their name is on this altar. Let's check it out. These are the names of the 300 formerly enslaved black people who helped founded the first St. James AME Church built here in San Antonio. Man, to just stand here and know that this is where maybe my ancestors, stood. Or to see other black people come and visit this and read their ancestors' names. Wells, Roberts, Rivers, Hill, Haskins, Douglas, Booker, Anderson, Buckingham, Gleaves, Green, Grant, Harris. So again, the next time someone tells you there's no black history in San Antonio, just bring them to this place. And as a matter of fact, this isn't the only historic black church in San Antonio. I'm gonna show y'all two more really quick. Check them out. Organized in 1866, the St. Paul United Methodist Church behind me became the first African-American church here in San Antonio. It was also founded by free and enslaved people and has always served as a hub for civil rights groups and their meetings, and has hosted some of the most important African-American leaders in our history and our country, like Thurgood Marshall. 5 years after the St. Paul United Methodist Church was organized, free and enslaved people founded the Mount Zion First Baptist Church here in San Antonio in 1871. The church actually sits on Martin Luther King Drive here in the city. Just like St. Paul United Methodist Church, Mount Zion was also a hub for civil rights groups and their meetings. For some groups, it was even their headquarters. You should absolutely visit Mount Zion and St. Paul United Methodist Church if you come to San Antonio. They are historic sites. So, next time you come to San Antonio, you have at least 3 places you have to visit to learn about the legacy of black church here in the city and the history and legacy of enslaved people building some of the first churches here in San Antonio. Might I suggest you start with Presence of the Past.